Hello there, history enthusiasts. Today we're diving deep into the world of the Celts, an ancient people who lived around 1200 BCE. These folks have some mysterious beginnings. Scholars debate if they were wandering travelers from far-off lands or if they'd been right there in Europe all along. What we do know is that they left their mark across a vast region, even stretching as far as Asia Minor. Chapter 1. The mysterious origins of the Celts. The Celts story kicks off a long time ago, somewhere around 1200 BCE. But where they came from is a puzzle. Some folks think they might have come from way out east, perhaps the steppes of Eurasia. Others say they might have always been in Europe, evolving right there over the centuries. Either way, what's for sure is they became quite the unique and lively civilization, though their early days are still a bit of a mystery. Chapter 2. The Blossom of Celtic Culture. As the Celts expanded their territory, their culture really started to shine. These folks were quite the artists and metalworkers. They made some stunning jewelry and intricate weapons. Their society was set up in tribes led by leaders known as chieftains, and they were all about the beautiful designs and knotwork, which weren't just pretty, but carried deeper meanings about life and nature. Chapter 3. War and military achievements. Now, let's talk about their fighting spirit. The Celts weren't just skilled in the arts, they were fierce warriors too. They had a reputation for being tough cookies in battle. Their warriors, known as Gallic knights, even had some impressive armor. These knights decked themselves out with intricate designs and wore armor decorated with swirling patterns. They even had these war chariots with sharp scythes that terrified their enemies. Chapter 4. The Kaleidoscope of Celtic Gods and Mythology. Within the Celtic gods and goddesses, you'd find a whole bunch of different characters. One of the big ones was Cernunnos, who had antlers and was all about animals and making sure things grew well. Then there was Bridget, who was all about fire and poetry. And don't forget Lugh, who was a bit of a hero. The Celts thought that these gods walked right among them, and their stories were often tied to nature and the seasons. Chapter 5. The Twilight of Celtic Dominance. Fast forward in history, and the Celts faced some tough times. The Romans came along and started gobbling up Celtic lands, making things a bit challenging for them. And if that wasn't enough, the Germanic tribes started moving in too. By the 8th century CE, the Celts had started to fade from the scene. Chapter 6. The Eternal Celtic Flame. But hold on, the Celts didn't just vanish into thin air. They left behind some pretty impressive stuff. Their languages, like Irish, Welsh, and Scottish Gaelic, are still alive and kicking. And their art, music, and traditions continue to charm and inspire people today. Some folks even try to bring back their ancient spiritual practices, connecting the past with the present. Chapter 7. A Timeless Legacy. In a nutshell, the Celts are like a puzzle we're still figuring out. Their beginnings are a bit mysterious, and their culture was a mix of art, fighting spirit, and a deep connection to nature. While they faced tough times with Romans and Germanic tribes, their legacy lives on. The Celts remind us that history is full of fascinating stories, and their tale of artistry, courage, and mysticism continues to captivate us. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the Celtic world. History's got plenty more stories to tell, so stay curious, keep exploring, and remember, every civilization leaves behind a unique and intriguing mark. Until next time.